Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So good morning. Welcome to another market open stream. And there you go. There's the bell. A couple minutes late, but that's okay. But we are feeling better today, aren't we? Because Bitcoin is back above 21,000. And I do believe more is coming. And this is because there's a huge event next week that may be a huge catalyst. So let's talk about what that is and what else is going on in the world today. Let's get started. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified of all my streams. Follow me on social media. Check out CryptosRUs.com and make sure you follow my other channels as well. Good morning, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is certainly a better day than yesterday. That's for sure. Last night, after my stream, things started getting interesting. Well, we could see, first of all, we kind of had like a half U recovery. Then we went sideways and boom. So now we're back above 20,000. Not only that, we pumped right back to 21,000. So interesting. So why did this happen? Well, there's a few little things. First of all, if you look at liquidations, just like when we go in reverse, when Bitcoin goes in reverse, we see liquidations, long liquidations, but this time we see a lot of short liquidations. That's what we want to see, right? You had, kicking things off here, 33 million shorts liquidated, and then 80, and then 51, then 48. You do the math, that's like 200 million right there. 200 million of shorts liquidated, long squeeze. That's what we want to see. But what caused the buy in the first place, right? What caused it? Well, there's a couple of things. Number one, if you're looking at overall market, like today, it's actually a pretty off to a pretty good start. You could see that U.S. market is up about 200 points, NASDAQ up decent amount. But what also is happening is the DXY is starting to come down. It's still very high. I mean, it's still at 108.9, but if you look at where it was even higher, closing in at 111, and now it's starting to come down a little bit. So that's also positive. Whenever we see DXY go down, good things happen. But these things I think they helped, but I think there's a bigger catalyst here, a bigger event that's happening next week that may be the real reason why Bitcoin is going up. And I think you guys know what that event is. If you don't, well, wait for it. I'll tell you. But before I do, let's talk about what else is going on in the world today. A lot of things actually is happening. For example, SBF really wants to be like BlackRock. I mean, he is really either taking advice from Larry Fink or I don't know. But SBF just decided to buy a 30% stake in Skybridge Capital, which of course is, a lot of you guys know Skybridge. They're a crypto investor, like a VC, right, for crypto space, led by Anthony Scaramucci, the Mooch, right? I didn't know he was looking to sell a stake, but that's a huge stake to be buying, and it's for an undisclosed amount, but it's probably quite a lot because the Mooch has said he has like over $1 billion in Bitcoin alone. So, I mean, he holds a ton of assets. So, yeah, SBF just keeps getting bigger, just bigger and bigger and bigger, just like BlackRock, right? Also, what's happening is Bitcoin's core, it's going to get an update. This is interesting. This is actually for the node operators, not the miners. So in case you didn't know that you can operate a node, which also helps process transactions. But during the first download, you have to download the entire chain. It takes a while, but during that time, there could be vulnerabilities and hacks. And what this update does is basically prevent that from happening. So it makes it more secure while you're still downloading the whole chain. But, the interesting thing is this is the type of thing that Michael Saylor argues against, saying that Ethereum is a security because it could be upgraded. Well, Bitcoin has updates too, right? Maybe not as vast as moving to proof of stake, but You know, it has its own updates. It has its updates as well. But overall, this makes Bitcoin better. And overall, good. And then what else do you have? Well, from a chartist perspective, what happened today was predicted. What is normal based on this bullish falling wedge pattern, right? But then again, you know, we have seen a lot of patterns like this. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But we do have a lot of people that are charting this saying, yeah, now that we have broken out of this wedge, we're heading right back up to 24, 25. We were there not too long ago. And maybe if we gain more strength, we'll be right back at 30,000. I'm still clinging on hope by the end of this year, we will get to $40,000. We need a little push. And we may be starting that right now. All right, so what is this big event, okay, that's happening next week? Well, it doesn't have anything to do with Bitcoin, but it has everything to do with Ethereum, right? So I've been talking about this quite a lot. A lot of times before you have a major event in the space, you do see a buy the rumor, sell the news type event happen, right? Before we get the merge, the Ethereum merge, which is coming between the 13th to the 15th. So that is next week, right? I do think that, especially now we're going into the weekend. Today is Friday. By the way, I didn't say happy Friday. Especially we're going into the weekend, we could see some volatility in a good way. We could definitely see some major movement before the major event happens, which is the merge, right? So I definitely think that that is probably the major driver of the entire space, not just Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin is definitely leading the way, but Bitcoin also has been really trailing the alts for quite some time. Just yesterday, Bitcoin dominance was at 37.2 or 3 or something. It was getting really low, right? So today, it's good to see that Bitcoin dominance did shoot up because it's up nearly 10%. But ETH dominance is still holding strong above 20%. And I do think that a lot of people are still really banking on this merge. And who knows what's going to happen afterwards, right? Even though the saying goes, buy the rumor, sell the news, sometimes it's buy the rumor, buy the news too. We have seen projects that have completed successful updates and they just continue to keep moving. They don't really come down afterwards. It doesn't have to be like that, right? But I do think that's going to be a major driver. Major driver this weekend and next week, right? And we'll see what else happens. So very good indeed. And today, if you look at it, I mean, pretty much we smashed through 1 trillion once again. Yesterday, we were like 983 or something. So we went up a huge amount within a single day. Over 7%. And you have some great movers today. Look at it across the board. 5, 6, 7, 9% Ethereum Classic. But today, the standout is Cosmos, up 24%, pumping above $16. I just got done talking about them last night, about interchain security that's coming. Also, Van Eyck is very vested in Atom, right? So there are a lot of great projects out there that are recovering quite nicely. So that is what we want to see. Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. And lastly, just a few other little things and something that's just a head scratcher that I feel I have to talk about. But Axie Infinity, I haven't heard much about them recently. They are getting Google to help process or become a node for their Rona network, which unfortunately suffered one of the worst attacks ever in crypto history, like 600-something million lost, right? So they will get Google themselves to power a node to help validate transactions. So that's interesting. That's pretty interesting. Pretty big endorsement. Ford is getting involved with NFTs, creating virtual automobiles and NFTs. I just don't think it's the same, right? Like having an NFT of a F-150 Lightning or an NFT of a Raptor is not the same as driving either one. So I don't know. Stuff like this doesn't really interest me unless you could redeem for a physical car with NFT, right? But I don't think that's going to be the case. But who knows? And the Japanese government also issues NFTs to reward local authorities' work. Again, if you're like a local authority and you're working overtime, and then now you get handed an NFT for your troubles, like, is that really what you want? just give me some Bitcoin or something instead, right? Rather than NFTs. So yeah, so there's that. Vitalik went kind of like off on a tangent, even though, the merge is happening. Maybe Vitalik had one too many, or, laying it thick with the sauce, right? He's arguing for taxes. One thing that people don't appreciate enough about land taxes or even property taxes is that the existence of the tax means the property is much cheaper for you to acquire in the first place. You could put the difference in stocks and pay the tax out of the price gains. Well, I mean, that's duh. He's just basically saying, well, you could go invest. You could put your money somewhere, right? And then usually pay for the tax. So why are people complaining? I don't get the whole thing about, though, like, just because there's a land tax means that it's actually cheaper without. Even CZ is chiming in, though he's saying that it's still negative. You could still buy land with no tax and it'll be still cheaper, right? And then Vitalik tries to say all this stuff that makes it sound legit and smart, but it still doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And then the comments in here are just like, this reminds me of a 17-year-old TikToker in a bull market talking about how easy it is to make money in the stock market with these 3 simple steps. I think that's pretty right on. I don't know what prompted him to go off on a tangent like that and talk about how land and property taxes are a good thing. But anyways, and then lastly, Kadena, I saw this. A lot of you guys are wondering about Kadena Mining, right? You can't just go from Ethereum's proof of work mining to Kadena's proof of work. It doesn't work like that. But they have partnered with Bitmain, which is the largest mining machine producer in the world, right? And there will be a specific KA3 miner. I didn't know Bitmain was actually, doing this, but yeah, if you want to mine Kadena, you could get one of these bad boys and get crazy amount of mining power. Because every one of these ant miners are insane in terms of how much they can mine and hash, right? So I didn't know that. Good for them. Part of the growing ecosystem, I would say, for Kadena. That's pretty much it. The only other thing I want to talk about is this, and this proves my point that what's going on behind Luna Classic is unnatural, and it's not just community-led. There's definitely some big whales at play, okay? So a lot of people are banking on the fact that, there's going to be this tax burn and it's going to change everything, right, for Luna. A lot of people were looking at what Binance was going to say, because Binance did add back a Luna Classic trading pair, right? But Binance basically said, we will not participate in the burn, meaning that the trades on chain or on the exchange will not get a 1.2% burn. There's no burn of any kind. Deposits, withdrawals have no burn too. They're basically saying the network will burn the 1.2%, but we will not be burning, right? So this was a disappointment for many lunatics, but that's not the thing I'm talking about. I'm talking about this. So this morning, Luna Classic did dump a little bit, right? That was a pretty substantial dump, and it's coming back up. But here's the reason why this is all manipulated. Take a look what happened with Luna 2.0. Luna 2.0 shot up 200% this morning. Any reason why Luna Classic went up 200% this morning? No, none. It's probably because whoever did this, whoever sold on Luna Classic, decided to buy Luna and pumped it up to the moon, right? So this is the thing that you have to be careful about, because there are a lot of major whales at play. Some argue it's Binance themselves, because Binance was one of the largest Luna holders there was. and maybe still is. Maybe they're trying to, dump their bags or whatever, right? So just be careful. A lot of people are still hyping in, FOMO in on the train, but the fact that Luna is now pumping to the moon kind of shows you there's some kind of shenanigans going on right now. So be careful with that. All right, that is pretty much it. Bitcoin is still above 21,000. The entire market is still up in a significant way, and the U.S. market is in green today as well. So it's a pretty good Friday. All right, guys, let's do some Q&A. Yep. I didn't talk about the inflation read that's coming up next week. That'll determine what the FOMC will do in the coming weeks, right? But we'll see. We'll see. And last night, I was talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum being under attack by the White House, by Gensler, right? There's still a lot of, headwinds, so to speak. A lot of enemies of crypto that's still out there. But you know what? That's why I told you guys, Bitcoin is strong. It's not going anywhere. Holders are not going anywhere. And this is what we want to see. Vitalik's still long on ETH. Yes, Crypto Wealth. He's long on everything. Let's see here. I didn't even read the comments, and everyone in the comments is like, "Oh, look at Luna, pumping 200%." That proves my point exactly. This is why it's the community is all about Luna Classic. Why is Luna pumping? I mean, there's some big whales that are driving things, and it would not surprise me soon that you see Luna Classic lose steam and start dumping, and then Luna Classic start pumping, and that has nothing to do with the burn. And there's and here's the thing, there's exchanges all around that didn't change the symbol, so like Luna would be the new Luna Classic, but people don't know that, and it's just getting all confused left and right. Sid, appreciate it. Why is Cosmos pumping? Any specific reason? Yes and no. They're having a big upgrade too to introduce interchain security, which will bring a lot more value to Atom holders. And also, I covered weeks back that Van Eyck is a big investor in Atom. They may be loading up on Atom right now. The Atom has been doing very, very well. The way they're going to be in the top, close to the top 10 pretty soon. Take a look at it. Green across the board. 24 hours, 7-day, 30-day, 60-day, 90 days. 100% in the last 90 days. Imagine that. Picking up Cosmos like under $8. Yeah, that would have been a good DCA moment. Why does no one talk about Litecoin? Because there's nothing to talk about. What is there to talk about with Litecoin? Just buy Bitcoin. Benny Black. Generally, I've noticed most crypto chart guys generally have no idea. As you say, DCA is the best. I mean, yeah. Charting works until it doesn't. It's like 50-50. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. With Bitcoin, especially with crypto, like the market cap is so small. It could be manipulated. It could swing both ways at any given notice. So, that's why many traders, and I'm talking about traders for like years, not just like retail investors coming in trying to trade, like people that have tried trade for years. And they may be up, but a lot of them tell me, George, I've done the math. I went back all the way, right? All the times I traded Bitcoin and Ethereum and stuff like that. I calculated all my profits. And then I calculated how much I would have had I just hodled Bitcoin and Ethereum. And a lot of them tell me I would have made more just by holding. Honestly, like all the trading, even though it led to profits, they would have had more profits had they just held. I mean, and I learned that the hard way too. During crypto winter, I was trying to trade. Things were so bleak, right? I was like, yeah, let me try to outsmart the market and trade. And sometimes I was in the green. I made money. And then I calculated, damn, had I just held on and done nothing, that would have been the best move, right? That's why I preach DCA now and just holding, because honestly, it's the best move. Share thoughts on Chili's. Well, they're pretty dominant in this space. As for getting sports teams, soccer clubs, football clubs signed up, they're getting huge, and they're expanding into other chains. Other teams. They're coming out with their own chain, that will increase scalability. A lot of the team tokens not available for US because they're considered securities, but they're listed on Binance and being traded all the time. So I think Chili's in a really good spot. Greetings from the Netherlands. Welcome. Do I DCA stock market as well? No, I don't. I mean, there's very little stocks that I like. I like the major players in stocks, kind of like the big caps of crypto, right? If I was investing into stocks, I would look at someone like Tesla, Apple, Microsoft, some of these big boys, right? Like, I would not be investing in, I don't know, Walmart or Target or 3Com or, like Palantir, Peloton, like, all, there's just there's just a lot I would not invest in. But one company I do think that could be doing well in the future is Ford. I have a love and hate relationship with Ford because I remember I held on Ford during the housing bubble. And I think I bought them at like $8 at that point. And I saw them go down all the way to $1 in 2008 or 2009. And then I'm like, man, I have to get out. And then shortly afterward, they started coming back up again. But I still remember that. But the reason why I like Ford is because I like their move. They're ahead of the game. Other than Tesla, they're ahead of the game with the EV space. And we know the whole industry is moving to EV. And they are ahead versus everyone that's not Tesla. The Mach-E is a great compact SUV. And the Lightning is a fantastic EV truck. So I think Ford, if they continue to move forward, they come out the EV Bronco and EV whatever, Maverick, right? They could do really well. But generally speaking, I don't invest in a lot of stocks, just crypto. Geostone, appreciate it. Let's see. Bed Bath & Beyond, no, not for me. And it's sad to hear about what happened with the CFO. Gala is a great long-term play. I do agree with that. Gala has some great games. Where is Gala these days? They have some great games out, and there's more that's coming, right? They're a gaming platform. They're not just one game. Unlike a lot of other projects that are just focused on one game alone, they're a gaming platform, and that's what I like about them. So they have a real shot of doing great things. What is the best stablecoin? Does it really matter? I would say at this point, USDC or BUSD. You know, USDT is, I mean, it's so widely used. It's kind of hard not to use them. But I think they're trying to legitimize themselves as much as they can right now. DAI I don't trust because it's a collateral based token that's not backed by fiat. It's backed by various other tokens. So I don't trust them as much. I don't know if you guys know that BUSD was created by Paxos. Paxos also is another stablecoin. Paxos created BUSD for Binance. They also created GUSD for Gemini, and they still have their own. So Paxos is pretty legit, and everything that they have is backed one-to-one with cash specifically. Not like a treasury or a bond or a junk bond or anything like that. It's just cash. So that's another reason why BUSD is pretty good. And they're really trying to force everyone to use BUSD. Binance's. Is there a chance we see top 30 coins go lower in ranking by 2030? By 2030, man, that's 8 years. A lot of things could change in 8 years. In 8 years, Bitcoin could be above $1 million for all we know. Ethereum could be gone in 8 years. I mean, as sad as that sounds, it could be. It could be replaced by, who knows, Cardano in 8 years could be Ethereum. You know? There's a lot of competition out there, and things move very, very quickly. So let's see. I heard most alts don't survive the bear market. You heard wrong. Alts survive the bear market. Alts are very hard to kill. Just look at what happened in 2018 to 2020. All those alts, like very little died. Even the smallest microcap, a lot of them don't die. They could come right back up. So what you heard is wrong. Bitcoin maxis will want you to think that, oh yeah, everything needs to die before Bitcoin could recover. That's nonsense. That's utterly nonsense. Just look at where Bitcoin dominance is right now. It's nowhere close to previous levels, right? It's a different environment. The alts actually have real utility now. It's very different. DigiByte will replace everything? I think not. I think not, my friend. You're the first person that talked about DigiByte in like 6 months. Shaolin, just because they didn't come back to all-time high doesn't mean they're dead. A lot of them are still operating. A lot of them, actually, like some of the ones that I talked about back in 2018, 2019, you know, they're still doing very well. I mean, in terms of development and stuff, but price-wise, they haven't caught, you know, they haven't caught the FOMO like before. But a lot of them are actually still executing. So it's very hard to kill. That's why this number keeps going up. This crypto number up here, 21,000, right, keeps going up because rarely do you see projects completely die, shut down, everything is killed off, there's no nodes running, no validators running, and then CMC delist them. That's why it's very rare to see that happen. Is DigiByte a scam? It's not a scam. It's just, it's a project that doesn't know what to do with itself. It was supposed to be a digital currency to be used. You know, it's the draw to it is it has 5 hashing algorithms, so you can't 51% attack it, and you can't have collusion and stuff like that. But then they started going in the direction of layer 2, and they come out their NFT marketplace, and they wanted to get into tokenization and stuff, and then the market just crashed. So I don't know if they did any of those things, but Digibyte has been around for a long time, and whoever the leader is, I think his name is Tate too, not Andrew. Maybe his name is Andrew Tate also. He left the project, and then he came back, so that was also bad luck. I don't know if it is Andrew Tate. Jared Tate, yeah. Okay. It's not Andrew Tate, it's Jared Tate. I don't think he has any relationship with Andrew Tate. Is there any hope for coins that are considered securities? Yes. Because just because a coin is deemed security does not mean they automatically die. Every stock that's out there is a security. But the thing is, if you're deemed a security, you have to play by the SEC rules. So there'll be a lot of like scrutiny, a lot of paperwork, a lot of auditing and stuff like that. And many projects don't have the funds to do that, or the time or manpower. So a lot of the smaller projects, if they're deemed securities, they'll probably shut down. But a lot of the bigger projects, even if, let's say, for example, Ripple loses the lawsuit, they will continue to move forward. They'll just comply with the SEC, but they're not going to shut down. They're way too big to do that. So I think it really depends on how big they are. What about Cardano? You know what? I think people are sleeping on Cardano. I'm still trying to get a pool going. You know, I'm the last steps, trying to get all the documentation, all the steps documented and stuff like that. So I'm gonna release that pool probably next week. It's been delayed for a few weeks, but you know, people forget that the merge right after the merge is the Cardano Vassal hard fork, which is just as big, if not bigger, in terms of an upgrade. So I think most people are missing that. But we'll see. We'll see after the merge. Everyone's paying attention to the merge. I think the merge will be good. And we'll see this weekend. What happens this weekend? If we're going to see the movement, the pump continue, it could be a pretty darn good weekend heading into next week. Atom to 30 by end of the year. The way they're moving, maybe. I don't know. They still have to double. I don't know. That may be a little bit of a stretch, but who knows? Sometimes when these L1s catch momentum, they just keep going and going and going. They don't stop for a while, right? And there's the interchain security is coming up beginning of the year in January. So I think, you know, it could be good for them. A lot of smaller chains will be able to use basically the validators from Cosmos themselves to make them more secure and less headaches in terms of, you know, development. So, and Atom holders get rewarded in a big way. Thank you, Shannon. Hit the like button if you appreciate George's videos. Yes, please do. Full moon this weekend. Well, full moons don't necessarily have to be bad. They could be a good thing. TRD Pro Tundra or Lightning, they're two very different trucks. The new TRD Pro is pretty darn good. The new engine, even though it has some wastegate issues, but the new Tundra iForce Max engine is pretty darn good. I mean, it's like 450 something horsepower. It's weird numbers. Toyota doesn't like to round up or anything. It's like 456 horsepower and like 510 foot-pounds of torque or something like that. And it's a hybrid, but it doesn't drive like a hybrid. So you get like maximum power. For a full-size truck, it's actually, you know, very, very good if you compare it to competitors. And you get some fuel efficiency from it. And it overall, Tundras last forever, right? So very different, though, from a Lightning. I don't have any information on Yem coin. No idea. Joke's on you. I'm waiting for Luna 3. Hopefully that never, ever, ever, ever happens. All right. Let's see. I think that's it. Will Toyota ever build a fully electric truck, either the Tundra or Tacoma? I'm sure. Toyota is so late on the EV game, but I think they announced before that, yeah, they will. Everything will transition to EV, but probably not for a while. Toyota has such a loyal fan base with the Tacoma, especially Tacoma, 4Runner, and the Tundra. They're probably going to stick with, you know, tried and true gas motors for quite some time. Yeah. So, well, we're still going up, man. It's pretty good. Pretty good. And probably more short liquidations. Let's refresh this. Yeah, look at that. Over 200 million shorts liquidated. Good short squeeze. Can we continue? Hell yeah. So, it would be awesome if we could see this. If we could see leading up to the merge, if we could see Bitcoin back to 24, 25K like before, that would be fantastic. Maybe it has a shot. All right, guys. I'll let you guys go. Overall, things are looking much better today, right? We're heading into the weekend. It's Friday, so no stream for me tonight, but that's okay. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy this weekend. We have a big event coming, the Ethereum Merge next week. Leading up to it, we could see some great things happen. So let's just wait and see, right? And if you are participating in Luna Classic or Luna, just be careful. Be careful. There are definitely some whales that are driving things up or down right now. And you know what? It's very volatile, so be careful. All right, guys, smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, have a good one. Take care, and make sure you check out my other channels as well, and head over to CryptosRUs.com for the latest news, articles, and guides. All right, bye-bye.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.